Hello and welcome back to another session of Google.rs development. It's Baron speaking, and we're currently dealing with making concurrent builds work much better. It's issue 122. I've already explained what's going on, and right now you see kind of a build in progress because things broke on the previous build for some reason, maybe due to some updates I did to Rust, or maybe something else. Anyway, now to make the CLI work, you need to explicitly flush on the output stream, which in my case caused partial data to be written, which resulted in invalid JSON, which resulted in my YouTube uploader being broken. So I've been trying to figure this out and fix it and make a lot of other changes, but long story short, this currently runs with just one cargo process at a time per device. So that's a virtual machine that does the Linux build, that's the OS X one. And even though I'm using a shared target directory, which already saves time, I would like to go ahead with make J X, whereas X is the amount of cores I want to spare for that kind of problem. So that way you kind of overlocate your processes a bit initially, because cargo will use multiple processes as well. However, I'm willing to just take care of that, or to just have that. In any way, cargo needs to start locking stuff, and we figured out that the building block for this should be the FileLock convenience type, which shall be based on the RW lock that is here. Where is it? Here it is. And here I would just like to kind of mirror the entire API, because that's kind of what I want. Even though I would probably not have a guard, I would just have a result that shows what's going on for now. Good. So we have fn read, and it's quite common for locks that these kind of have interior mutability. So we are just taking a shared borrow here. And what do I return? I think what lock returns, huh? So here in the previous session, we have reorganized the structure a bit, so as to not have so much code anymore. So we have a lock error. Good. So I should be able to get this by using use super error. So now I have this error kind, which right now doesn't do much, as will be exactly what we need to return, because this is what we will get. Okay. So we will always attempt to create a file. But we will create it in the respective mode. So if you want to have a read log, we will create the file in read mode. Yeah, let's just say that. Note, due to the way this log, you know what? Considering, I think I want to have a read log and a write log, because if the user thinks he can kind of switch between them, oh, now I want to have a read log, now I want to have a write log, then this would actually be wrong. This wouldn't work, because we will create a file and open it just once in the respective mode for reading, for writing. And of course, you could open for reading and writing, but we don't do that. We only support one. And I think that's sufficient for us right now. So I think I want to have a read file lock, which is like this, or a file lock. That's about the interface. After all, the method names will be different. Unless, yeah, you know what? I think it will be easier if you have a file lock here that will have an additional parameter that informs about the access mode. because that way, we can just call this lock and try lock. And that's our interface already. Yeah, it's really just a convenience. It doesn't do much more than taking care of creating a temporary file that will also drop and making sure this is all as safely done as possible. So here we have our mode, which is an access mode. We'll just take ownership of it. Mode is mode. And here we go. In the moment somebody tries to lock something, we will create the file in the respective mode. So I think I want to have a utility function. fn. Oh, actually that's pub. That's pub. And that's pub. Ha! And since we support interior immutability, this file handle here is something we will alter, because we will actually open something in the moment we try to lock something. Therefore, we need a cell for this, right? A cell with an optional. I think this is what we have here. Yes. Use std, because cells, they go by value, right? And we want to exchange the entire value here, which is the optional. So I think we are good with that. Cell of an optional file. Good. And the cell, what do we do with the cell? I think we lock it. Do we lock it? Or do we get it? I think we get it. It's get and set. Yeah, that's the interface that's used there. And this can actually fail, but it will not in our case, because it's only us accessing this one. So we can just unwrap this stuff. Anyway, there is fn file. Let's give me an opened file which returns I think a borrow on that file shall be enough, which will be having the same lifetime as this guy, because it's part of us, right? So this is now the one who checks if there's something in there. So if self file get, actually we can match on it, right? So if we have some file, we shall return the file. If we have none, we will set none. And I wonder if I can call set while I'm getting this thing out of there. And I also don't know what, I have to look it up. What kind of thing does get return? Does it return a copy? Does it move it out? Ah, it moves it out. Oh no, return a copy of the contained value. Well, this will not work. I think then we need a ref cell. Ref cell. What is ref mut, by the way? A wrapper type for mutably borrowed value from a ref cell t. Okay, that's something that ref cell returns at some point, I guess. Yeah, so I want to have a ref cell, and I can borrow and borrow mut. And I do wonder how I can replace the interior state completely, because the optional will have to be changed into something that is not an optional. Maybe I should have a look. And maybe this just works. Maybe I can make an assignment or something. Yeah, we'll just figure this out, I guess. So it's a ref cell now. Because it returns by reference, not by value. None. Good. So this is now borrow. And it can, of course... Wait, if I borrow this, then I get a ref, which I deref. And is there some... I'm not quite sure how to handle this. I think I have to deref this one to make it work, but I wouldn't know how to... You know, now I definitely have some sort of reference to the interior, and I'm not sure if I can... Yeah, we'll figure that out. It's interesting. And yeah, Rust is really for people who have all that in their minds or totally know. It's really about knowing the API really well. Otherwise you will just be looking there staring at compiler errors, which we will do anyway. Still, I like it for some reason. Maybe you have to be liking pain. Okay, so I think this will not work. Let's just see what happens here. It should tell me... Yeah, we'll just return 5 here. And this, of course, is a ref cell new with none in there. Okay. Oops. Let's see. So far, so good. So what if I really actually try to do something? Self, file, borrow, mut. Can I assign this? Can I assign this to a none? I mean, just for the fun of it, I have to assign it at some point. And now it should tell me that 5 is still not valid, but only that. Cool. So apparently that works. I have to pause this. So, the good thing is that this is still exactly the same issue, so this doesn't seem to be an issue for him, which means I should be able to do that. So let's try new create true, and then it gets interesting because now we want to say that we want to read it. Oops. You want to read it only self mode if self mode equals access mode read, and we want to write it only if self mode is access mode write. And now we open this file. I think we can just provide our path buffer a reference to it, which derefs to a path, which is what this open wants to have. And now it's actually, you know, we can actually return a result here. We should return a result because this can fail. We can fail to open the file, and we probably want to be able to communicate this because we want to work with cargo. I mean, generally, right? We can't degenerate errors. So we have a result here which provides a file borrow, or on success, on failure, provides an IO error. No, wait, FS error, right? What kind of thing is returned by open options? Show me. Open options. I think it's open, right? Ah, come on. Wrong. result. And what kind of result is this? IO result. I knew it. So that's an IO error, right? IO error. Yeah, so I wonder, can I do something cool here? Like use try? Try would work. I think try would work indeed. And I can actually keep this borrow here, I think. Then do it like this. That should work. And yes, I was wondering if I should do some fancy and then or some try at least. I think this could be worth a try. Like this. That will actually put the error into my error structure. Like this, which is compatible, or return the valid result or assign the valid result to my B here. And then I should be able to say yeah, it's an optional now. So I want a ref. So I can say B as ref and unwrap, right? So this should contain a borrow of the contents that we have just successfully set. If we didn't set it, we have an error here, which has been returned. And this must be an okay now. Like this. Oh! Actually, that's... No. Like that we wanted, right? And I'm not sure if that will do, but maybe it does. You'll see. Okay, now it doesn't work anymore. Because we don't want to unwrap this. We just want to get it once, right? Failed to resolve. What IO error? Yeah, use std IO. Use stdfs open options. Do I not have partial equality here? Huh. I don't know why that doesn't work. Maybe I need comp or something? But comp is greater or equal, greater or smaller than something. Why is that not working here? Okay. What else? Oh yeah, and this one wants to be packed. So like this. And now the only thing left should... Oh, that's actually quite good. The only thing left is something that should be most manageable. The access mode... I cannot compare the access mode. Why is that? So... I really don't know, unfortunately. There's nothing special about this one. Why can't I compare that? I mean, this works when you use assert, and assert also checks for equality, right? So what's the matter? Okay. So what about C explain E0369? Not yet. I think in the nightly it is already present. Yeah. So does partial equality have anything to do with it? So here we have, oh, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm dumb. I knew it, but I don't know why I looked at the wrong thing. Here we go. And yeah, better mismatch type. So we have to put this into an option here. So that's some. It's crazy code, I must say, but it does a lot of stuff if you think about it. Allow control path, return a value. Really? Oh, that's this one now. Good. So what happens on error? What happens if there is some sort of IO error? Yeah, we want to return this. So we need our own error type. I think. So no, actually, sorry, that's an enum error, which is a lock error from. How do I do that now? Now I have a name clash here. Maybe I just want to use self in this case. Super. No, wait. Self. Yeah, that should be super, right? Or would it be lock? I will find out. Error. Yeah. So let's see. Let's just pretend we want to return lock error. In theory, the name should be lock and not super. But we will see. Okay. Unsupported, what? Unresolved import, super. Is there no super in? Okay, so tries to do the wrong thing here. Damn it. Yeah, I think another way to do it is to use FileLock, huh? Start from the top. Use FileLock access mode. And self. What about this? So now there's no access mode in FileLock. Really? But maybe I can't do that? Maybe it's really not there. There is an access mode in FileLock. Maybe it's lock. I think we can do it like that, huh? Maybe that is it. Yeah, cool. That's it. Nice. So we return our own error here. And now we also have a problem with name clashing here, because would now be more precisely a lock error and actually no, that's, yeah, I could leave it in the module and declare it yeah, it kind of sucks, does it? But on the other hand, you wouldn't usually want to access it yourself. So I think we just do this instead. You don't export the error type to the top level. So here we go. Lock error, IO error. And now we can return all the errors that could happen there. Of course. Oh yeah. Actually, we want to make this a result. Again. I think okay and an error, right? A unit, just a unit result like this. Yeah, I would be fine with that. So let's just return an okay here just to get this to compile and see where we go. Private type exported in type signature, true. So now I would have to use pubmod FileLock so that people can access these error types. Good, and now we get, actually now we do the borrow checking. Ha, we didn't even get there. I was too good, you know, I was really happy that this part seemed to work, but I was very wrong in that regard. Borrowed value has not lived long enough. Okay, but I'm the one who defines the lifetime. And that just doesn't happen. What else is there? Can a borrow immutable local variable be as mutable? Okay. We can try that. And then yeah, so basically it's the lifetime of the borrow here. And I think it makes sense because the ref cell, yeah, the ref cell doesn't allow any value access outside. Oh, damn it. Outside of the handle there, which makes total sense. So I can't work around this. I will have to. Yeah, maybe I don't want to return this at all. Maybe I just want to. Maybe I want to turn it around. Maybe I want to have an optional ref cell. Oh, if I would turn that around, I couldn't change the optional while I am on an immutable self, which I will always be. So that would be nicer, but we can't do it. We have to do it that way. And yeah, the only way to have, we could also have an enum there instead of, I mean, this is already what we have here. It's an enum, the option. So yeah, I think we don't want to return this, but instead access the ref cell directly. So we just return a result here, which could be a borrow to our ref cell. What do you say? That way we could kind of use it right away. Let's do that. So it's a ref cell of an option to a file. Yeah, that is awesome. So what we shall return a self file. Voila. And if we have something in there, we return self file. Does this work, or does he not like the fact that we have also a borrow out there? But it's all read only, right? So possibly this works. And now it says this actually isn't important. So let's see. Cool, that actually compiles. Cool. So now I could actually say let f be. So I try to get my opened file like this. And then I have my ref cell, which I can borrow. And then I can just access. I think I have to keep this borrow alive, right? Because otherwise I can't keep this thing alive because it's tied to the handle here. So I have to borrow my file borrow, and now I can use it. Actually, I just need to have it once, right? I just want to have the file descriptor. So I say borrow as ref. We only get it if we have a file. So we can unwrap here and say as raw fd. Awesome. And that is that. So let's get the as raw fd going. stdos Unix. So that will provide the method we need here, the method we want to call as ref unwrap. I must say, doing anything with Rust, if you want to be production ready, is quite complex to me. Always. My brain has a lot of overhead. And basically every other language is easier. This kind of includes C, totally C, and also C++. But C++ doesn't really count because when templates come into play, and this is something we do all the time in Rust after all, then stuff gets crazy. But in general, you know, Rust is still great, but it requires a lot of, it takes a long time to master, to get anywhere with it. Okay, so that is my file descriptor. Now I can use the lock. Oh, yeah. So actually, I wanted to access these C functions directly, because right now I would be better off doing this, or to have functions that just lock and unlock. So this is a convenience. And basically I would now move this back into its original form to just be more flexible. But why not, right? Why not? Yeah, let's do it. Because these actually just need a file descriptor. And the access modes and stuff, lock kind, access mode, but everything else doesn't matter. So I think we would be more flexible by allowing that, because then I could say, yeah, let's do it. I don't want this lock because it will have to be kept. It will have to be kept. I don't know. Unlock on drop shall be fine. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's just take this out of here. And once again, incorrect number of spaces per tab. All right, so yeah, let's do this. Self FD, that's the only time it actually uses self. So, well, that will be our raw FD. And that is that. Returns an error. Same here. raw fd. We would be fine with the reference, but this thing is copyable. And if it's not copyable, it's clonable, and that shall be enough for us. Cool. So now I can make the calls here, which is just lock self fd, kind clone, and mode clone. Voila. And I kind of duplicated the documentation as well, which I dislike. Yeah. So now unlock self fd. Good. So that should be that simple. Let's see what we get here. We get a file descriptor. Now we can use lock and unlock. Lock, unlock. Like so. And yeah, now we have to just create our error type. Yeah, to be able to use try, we could. Oh wait, the lock now. Let's prepare the lock call. It's fd. The kind is blocking, right? Lock kind. I'm not sure. Maybe kind is okay because we are in a lock module now. Maybe that shall be better. I'm not sure. So it's lock kind blocking and our access mode, self mode. Clone. There we go. And actually the OK result is compatible. So we can just try on this and we are done. And the same thing can work here. Let's see if this works now. It's in 99. Oops. No, wait. Actually, I was very confused there. Very, very confused. And I didn't even see it. And better. Good. So now from stdio error. So this is something we want to implement now. For error. So impl from io error for error, which shall be fm from. Wait, do we have to set the target here or is this automatically set? I don't think it needs to be set here. So this takes the IO error, which is self, and converts it into an error. And all we have to do here is say error, IO error, self. That should be the implementation we need here. Method from has a self-declaration in the impl, but not in the trait. Okay. So I'm doing it wrong. Oh, just a T. So it's not self, but item. Because it's not a method on the type T. Oops, what's going on? Oh, actually, returns a self, right? But self? That's weird. I thought self. Oh no, self is this one. Self is the one you implement for. So that's correct, but this shouldn't. Oh wait, I'm done as an item IO error. I think this is what it wants to tell me, right? Good. But in the OK case, you want to wrap it in the OK. That's what we do. We're getting closer. The trait convert from lock error is not implemented for the type FileLock error. Okay. In 62. That's a bit odd. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, I think now we have a... Now what we can get here is a lock. Oh, that's the next one. Yeah, sure. Now we have a lock error and we want to convert into, yeah, silly me. That was the next line. The line before was that one that we just implemented. So for lock error, and here we want to go with lock error like this, and we might want to call these error because it's errors after all, like that. Cool. So that compiles, and now we do the same thing here. You could even consider trying to nest this thing, nest it to the max. So what about this? I think that should be totally fine, huh? And that's Rust, super dense code. I mean, this is extremely dense considering what's going on there in terms of error checking and error handling and stuff. But that's also awesome because finally you can do this with a small amount of code if you know what you're doing, which is the most difficult part. To learn to know what you're doing. The cool thing is now I can just copy this here and change this to non-blocking. And if I would be super inclined, I could even make this a macro, but I don't think I would save a lot. So let's just keep it like that. Cool. So here's this, and now we pubfn unlock on self, which is a result. And yeah, in a way we would never expect. Wait. So we can call unlock even if lock wasn't called yet. So that's kind of a different error case, is it? Right now we have no representation of that kind of error. We could try to make it an IO error. Let's see what we have. If we can create it ourselves, error kind not found. Error kind not found seems good. So here we just check if we have something indeed. Self borrow as ref. Actually, we can just borrow it, because in the match statement we shall be able to just ref this. If we have some, we don't even need. Actually, we do need to ref it. Ref file. So now we can do something. If there is none, we shall return error, IO error new, and we have an error kind, IO error kind, which is not found. And what was the rest? The rest was error E. Oh, a real error. I think this can also be a string. Strings might be able to do that into conversion. See? That's it. That will work. Cool. Yeah. So let's say lock called before unlock called before lock or try lock. So that doesn't work, but this works. So in this case we can just say unlock, which should be I think I can try this, right? Again, try unlock, and if it works you wrap it into an OK. If not, look at that. Now I can actually put it up here because it will be short enough. Here we go with file as raw FD. Beautiful, but also super dense. Incredible. Nearly. Incorrect delimiter, import FileLock 78. What did I do? I think... Oh. Nothing to think here. It's really just there without reason. Oops. There's one extra delimiter there as well for some reason. Self-open file. No, actually not. Self file borrow. And now stuff doesn't work. Why? Do I have to deref it? Yeah. IO error. Why is IO error a problem? We have IO. Doesn't like it. Ah, yeah, sure. We didn't convert it. So can I do into? Because IO error can convert into the desired type, and maybe this works, yeah, because into is automatically implemented for people who have implemented from, which is good to know, which is awesome. Actually, I like that. I totally like that. I should do this more often. Good. So test should still work as before. Test unit, use FileLock, conflict with imported crate. Did I not? Wait. Process lock and unit. Import FileLock conflicts with imported crate in this module. Use FileLock. Well, I'm actually doing this, right? Import FileLock conflicts with imported crate in this module. What's going on now? Why is this a problem now? Maybe because it's oh, because it's a crate name. Damn it. Damn it. Yeah, what should I do? I would rename the crate. Call it FileLock or something. Something fun, fancy. Well, different name for this module is required. So I call this FileLock, but yeah. And also, so what if we didn't create this one? Do I actually know if that one was created or not? I don't think we can figure that out. So we always try to remove it no matter what. The problem is if we do a try lock and didn't create it, then we would remove the file that another one could hold a lock on. So yeah, the point is we can't do that. No can do. Okay, so that's a different issue, but we have to fix this before we go anywhere else with that. Yeah. Okay, so first let's fix this. Use FileLock. Like this. And it's also about time to finish this up. Git move source FileLock to source FileLock.rs. Good. That should be a bit better now. Cargo build. Cargo test. Ah, come on. Really? Ah, because I don't bring it in anymore. This is now, the error type is now elsewhere. That's in unit only, right? Unit, yes. So we just have to bring in the error type. Use FileLock lock error. Like this. Ugh. Oh look. Now my own tests don't work anymore. And now the question arises, do I want this? Or do I not want this? If I do not want this, I have to rename the error types to make them non-clashing. But this is kind of opposing everything we see everywhere. So can I kind of keep this namespace alive when I import stuff here? No, I can't, unless you do it explicitly. Yeah. So I need another line there. Okay, for now I will just fix it the only way I know how to fix it. Use FileLock lock error. Yeah, you know what? I think I will keep it the way it was. But not import the error of the FileLock. So if you want this, you need to use the FileLock error. And that is that. Good, so now this should just work fine without that import. Good. No, a renamed file that also changed, so I can't edit here. Feed FileLock. Initial implementation. The convenience wrapper doesn't have. Actually, I also did a refactor that could have been in a known commit, which should have been in a known commit. It's just effects. Yeah, let's do it in a known commit then. unstash. Okay. Yeah, that's the refactor. provide standalone lock unlock fun. That way one can use the actual functionality more freely. It should also be noted that lock was ill-conceived, as it is just a form of convenience wrapper, nothing more. Yeah, so that should work. And now we do this again. Doesn't have tests yet and won't behave correctly, and we will test that. If a lock could not be obtained and it is dropped, in case we didn't create the file. And this kind of, we need to have some feedback on whether we created a file or not. And or we would like to be able to fail if we cannot create the file. Something like that. So that's kind of the semantic issue we would now have. Because otherwise we can't clear that log file. Maybe we shouldn't clear that log file, right? Because right now we can't be sure of this. We would need a way to know if we created the file or not. Otherwise, there is no safe, non-racy way of, doing what we want to do, right? Of file removal. It's just like that. Yeah, something like that. I will think about that. But that shall be done in the next session. Thanks for watching and have a great day.